My name is Bipin, and I'm executive producer here at 101.1.
Okay.
And you know what the position is about, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and we're hiring a producer for LeVar and Duke's show. Have you ever heard about it before?
I've definitely heard about it. I actually have been listening to it for since I moved back to the area. So.
Okay. How often do you listen to it, if you do?
As often as I can. I mean, I like home team sports. I'm from the area originally,
Okay.
and I'm a big Redskins fan. They talk about Redskins football a lot, so
Yeah.
it's something I try to stick to for my Redskins news.
Okay. You say you were born here, and you also were living in Pittsburgh, looks like?
Yes, I was born in Alexandria,
Okay.
and I moved to, well, after I got out of the Marine Corps, I moved to Pittsburgh to start school there.
Okay.
Because I kind of wanted to stay away from home for a little bit more.
Okay.
And I got my degree from Pittsburgh
Okay.
and was doing some work up there for a radio station.
Okay. You got a degree in communications, right?
I got a bachelor's in communications there, and I got a minor in sports communication.
Okay. Cool. So what were you doing in your previous job?
Well, I worked for a news and music station up there. It wasn't sports related like this one is. Sports is what I've been wanting to do, but I figured that was a good entryway into the field at least.
Okay.
I was an associate producer there, and I didn't have necessarily as much responsibility as this job entails, but by the time I left, I felt like I was ready to take the next step up to a bigger workload. I did a lot of podcasting there, editing sound bites. I did a lot of interviewing different news sources and also musical artists.
Okay.
I would get them scheduled to come onto the show or make an appearance in the studio.
Okay.
And I would edit the show a lot and just make sure everything, it was kind of an unglorifying position, but I just made sure that all the top people looked good, essentially.
Yeah, that's the key thing that this position requires. We don't want any hesitations or any silence when we are doing the show, and we need our producers to be really technical and be able to give stuff to anchor so that they can, talk about whatever they need to talk about.
Okay.
And apart from that, we also need our producers to have pretty good writing skills. How well do you think your skills are in writing?
Writing is actually something that I'm hoping to do along with this field in a career, because I've been published a couple times on different websites. I got published once in the Pittsburgh Post, the Gazette up there.
Okay.
And it's something that I've always considered myself good at, and it's something I want to also pursue, because that's one thing that I've always taken away from the field of radio and media, is that you don't want to limit yourself to one platform.
Okay. And the other thing that this job requires is being able to blog, being able to connect to the fans, Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, even though nobody uses it anymore. But we still have our hands in a lot of places. And we need somebody like you, who can do that. How well do you think you can coordinate among all social medias that's out there right now?
That's a lot of the stuff I did in my last job also. So it's something I'm used to and something I could just get right into, and it'd be even easier to do it with sports, because that's something that's always come natural to me. Yeah,
and being able to do that is very important, because, like I said already, we have a lot of fans, and we even have a lot of fans that go to our website, check stuff out regularly. We got a lot of likes on our Facebook. Something I didn't see in your resume is your blogging, but your blogging site or Facebook. I don't have any links to that. It's pretty important that I have that, so I can check on how you blog, how well you blog, stuff like that. If you can give me that link in an email, that'd be great. Okay, and to ask something about you, tell me something that that's personal to you. Your personal background, what kind of jobs you had. You said you have some military experience.
Yeah, I actually, when I was 17, I joined the Marine Corps straight out of high school, and I was in until I was 21. I was from 2004 to 2008, and the job that I had, unfortunately, didn't really translate much into the civilian world. I was a scout observer for artillery, and that essentially wasn't the best pick for me because it didn't really do anything for me once I was getting out.
What's a scout observer?
Basically, you look at a target and you have to call in on a radio for artillery or airstrikes or things like that. So,
we're not going to use our radio to call any airstrike. But, not in DC area.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too good.
Yeah.
But I did take away from the Marine Corps, I mean, a lot of responsibility, a lot of, anxiousness to get jobs done and to be the best person I could be at whatever I'm doing.
Yeah.
And that's something that's a quality that translates into whatever field, but especially in this field, I mean, I'm fine with whatever the job, and I like to excel at it.
Okay. So. And is there anything that you didn't like about your military experience?
I mean, occasionally there was a person here and there that you don't always get along with, and unfortunately, in a job like that, there's a lot of built-up testosterone, and the guys sometimes butt heads, but it's natural, and I know that's not something you really experience in the normal workforce, but out there,
Our work area here is very laid back.
Okay.
We come in shorts and t-shirts, we're not very uptight about anything, very laid back. One thing I require everybody to do is come in here sober. It's a radio station, and especially people who are not in the air, they just come in whatever. But all I want for my people here is to act sober, come in sober, do their job, and be responsible for what they're responsible for.
Definitely.
So, aside from being interested in being a producer, what other things do you expect to do with this position?
Well, I mean, producing it's something that I was hoping to tie into quite a few things down the road also. I mean, I mentioned writing. I'd like to write more for the site. And I noticed the website for the radio show didn't have too many publications of articles put up. And that's something that I think I can improve on because I have a passion for writing, and I could put some good articles on the website.
Yeah. How well do you think your website, managing website skills are?
Oh, it's good. I mean, I learned a lot in my last job about that. Editing web content, putting podcasts up online, editing those. A lot of editing and cutting and all that audio stuff. I'm good. Website stuff I'm fine with.
And do you have any personal favorites as far as being able to edit music or podcasts? Do you have any personal software that you use?
We actually use, in my last job, we used Adobe Audition, and that worked really well for cutting out sound or adding in any sound. Or
actually, that's what we use here too, so that's
okay. That works perfect then.
Yeah. Do you have any personal favorites though?
As far as
the software goes?
No, I actually enjoy that one the most, probably.
How long have you been using it?
Well, I worked at my last job for about 1.5 years, so pretty much that whole time. And I did some internship work before that, and I used it then also.
That's good. Okay. And so you know that a lot of the games around in this area, it happens on weekends. How flexible are you as far as, if you can work on weekends, late shift, stuff like that?
As far as flexibility goes, I have no problem covering any game, any time. I don't have too many ties. I'm not really close with my family, so I don't, even though there are a lot in the area. So as far as time goes, I know the average day. I looked on the job posting and it said it's about 7 hours, but as far as pushing that to a weekend or anything like that, I have no problem because it's, like I said, it's something I enjoy. Sports are what I have a passion for, and it's not something I'll actually look at as much work in my mind, just because I'll enjoy it.
Yeah. How often do you watch sports?
Too often.
Too often?
Too often.
Yeah. I keep hearing about sports, and I just don't want to deal with it anymore. I just go home and watch movies. That's what I do.
I guess you got to get away from it when you're surrounded by it all the time.
Yeah. What's your how creative are you in handling job loads, your workloads, we got lots of work and you got, tight deadline. How well do you coordinate that?
I think coordination is easy as long as you have people willing to work as a team.
Yeah.
And that's something that I took away from the Marine Corps is good teamwork, makes any workload possible.
Yeah.
And also, since I've been out of the Marine Corps, it's made civilian work and my previous school work seem not as taskful as they might have used to.
Yeah.
I look at it as something that is enjoyable, and I enjoy being able to accomplish it and tackle any obstacles that come up.
Okay. Okay. And so we have a supervisor here. He's a part-time supervisor, but we're looking to hire a full-time supervisor very soon, maybe in a couple months.
Okay.
And we might even hire you as that if you do well in this position.
Okay.
As a supervisor, what would you do to make work flow very smoothly as a supervisor? Although you don't have supervisor experience, as I can see on your resume, but you seem like you're pretty passionate about the job that you had and the one you're trying to get. As a supervisor, how differently would you do things so that work flew very smooth and without any hesitations?
I think the most important part, and that's something I'll take from my military experience as far as being a leader in any position, is to make sure that not that you give distinct orders to people or boss people around, but that you earn their respect to a point where they enjoy working for you and they enjoy working as a team. And in this type of atmosphere, they might not necessarily look at you as a boss figure, but as a fellow employee that they're just helping out and working together to get the overall task accomplished.
Yeah, okay. So how long do you hope to work for us? Let's say if I hired you today.
It would be open-ended. I mean, it's a field that I hope to advance in, and I would like to eventually turn these jobs into an on-air personality job. I mean, I'd like to be the one on the microphone.
Yeah.
I'd like to be the one talking to the masses of fans and giving them news, but right now this is a really exciting job opportunity, and that's something that's a step in the right direction. Yeah,
we do look for people who want to advance, somebody that sees themselves in the next 5 years, hosting a show. That's pretty important for us. We like people who are very driven, very career-oriented. So you're at the right place, and I'm glad that I'm interviewing you today. So let's talk a little bit about salary. What's your requirement? What kind of benefits are you looking for? What's the salary range you're looking for?
Well, as an assistant producer, I know that I was making an hourly salary up there, and it was $18 an hour as an assistant producer. And I know the producer there, the station that I worked for there wasn't as prominent as this one.
Okay.
And the producer there made a pretty good salary. And right now, I feel like I've accomplished a good amount. I'm a responsible guy, and my work will indicate that. And I'm looking for around $50,000 a year to start out.
Okay.
And I know other producers at the station make more than that, but it's not something that, like I said, I'm looking to advance. I'm looking to continue to elevate and show that I'm worth every penny of it.
Okay, yeah. As a producer, we have great benefits: health insurance, vision, dental.
Okay.
Whatever else you can think of, we have it. We're, like you said, we're a very, very prominent radio station around here. Yeah, and I also like your salary requirement. It's something I think we can afford.
Okay.
Looks like you're pretty passionate about stuff that you want to do.